Yo, what's up everyone? It's your boy Streezy here and we are back with another video. So today, as you can tell by the thumbnail guys, we have some good news and some bad news. First of all, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Sorry I've kind of been inactive, been real busy lately, but overall I'm doing pretty good. But so some news came out, and I actually didn't even know this was a thing. I had a friend of mine. Big shout out to Galactic Guns. He's a good friend of mine. But yeah, he's the one that told me about the story, and Sony is actually pulling back on exclusives for PC. So he wanted to know my reaction and my thoughts on the news, and I guess several people have texted me about this. So yeah, just decided to make a video on it. But so you can see right here, this is an IGN article. It was uploaded today, actually, February 27th, 2026 at 5:42 a.m. So yeah, this came out today. Currently it is the 27th, but this video is probably not going to be uploaded on the 27th, so keep that in mind. So yeah, console, this is from IGN and other articles like Bloomberg and that Jason Schreier guy. So consoles is where they want to be. Reports indicate Sony is pulling away from PC for single-player PlayStation games. So yeah, I ultimately seen this coming. I felt like, to me, I felt like this was a bad idea. It's actually one of the reasons I switched to PC too, but at the same time, it's really bad for the brand, because I feel like if PlayStation does what Xbox is doing, man, and puts all their exclusives on PC, there's absolutely zero reason to own a PlayStation. Again, that's one of the reasons I quit PlayStation, on top of, several other reasons. That's not the only reason, but that was a big one for me. But yeah, this is actually a good thing for PlayStation, especially their, fan base. I don't think, because PC, of course, PC has its own exclusives. So, and Nintendo, they're not really gonna, let anybody touch their stuff, which is good, because it will destroy the Nintendo brand if they do that. Xbox was the first one to do this, and I think that was a bad move on Microsoft for doing that. I just think we need the console wars, man, because if we don't, we're not going to have any competition for the consoles. Like, everybody's going to just switch to PC, man. You know what I'm saying? Or Nintendo. Like, them are the only two competitors if, PlayStation and Xbox keep doing what they're doing. So I'm actually glad Sony is doing this. It's kind of ironic, because I actually was against exclusives for the longest time, but when I really looked at it, a businessman myself, it's actually smart to pull back on this. So let's go ahead and read anyways. Under the current leadership, PC has become less important. Of course, PC does sell. It's not because PC's not selling, by the way, guys. Like, Helldivers is actually thriving on PC. God of War and Horizon is as well. But they're doing this because it's hurting their hardware sales, and a lot of people are still on PlayStation 4, man. So this is one of the biggest reasons they have to pull back, man, because if not, it's going to destroy the brand itself. So let's go ahead and read. Sony is reportedly pulling away from PC when it comes to single-player PlayStation games and focus more on console exclusives. So, various comments from credible sources, including Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier and Digital Foundry's John Lineman, indicate PC has become less important for Sony, and that single-player PlayStation exclusives may remain just that. Speaking on the Triple Click podcast, Schreier indicated that Sony will continue to release live service games on PC as well as PlayStation, but the sense I'm getting is that they're backing away and putting their exclusives console stuff, like traditional single-player stuff, on PC. Schreier pointed out to Insomniac's Wolverine due to out on PS5 exclusively, excuse me guys, I can't read, this September, which suggested it may never come to PC. I'm okay with this, man. I am completely okay with this. I feel like this is a good move on Sony's part. Again, my friend texted me. He's like, dude, are you disappointed? I'm like, no, I'm actually not. I'm actually glad you guys are keeping exclusives again, because your guys ain't going to have a reason to stay on PlayStation if this continues. I feel like Xbox needs to go backpedal too and go back to exclusives. Is it going to change my mind and for me to go back to PlayStation? No, I'm not going back to console, man, if I can help it. But anyways, that's just my opinion. Schreier then suggested Sony hasn't seen significant commercial success putting single-player games on PC. So I didn't know that. That's actually news to me. I thought they actually did pretty well. So I guess that makes sense. Helldivers is doing really well. So that's obviously why they're keeping live services on PC. But it seems like the single-player it's because here's the thing with PC. If you put a single-player game, or any game for that matter, on Steam or any of these storefronts, Sony is going to take a pay cut. So instead of getting 100% of the revenue, if they put it on Steam, they're only getting 70% because Steam gets 30% of it. Except Epic Games, I think they get like 12%. They're like the only ones that are that generous. So, but yeah, most storefronts are 30%. It doesn't seem like it's going to be that big of a blow, he added. First-player, single-player game PlayStation games have that made the jump to PC, like Marvel's Rivals, Spider-Man, God of War, Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, and Days Gone. Now, I'm going to be honest, not a real big fan of the exclusives. The biggest ones I like is Naughty Dog, Sucker Punch, and Ben Studio, the guys that make Days Gone, Ghost of Tsushima, and Last of Us. Them are the main ones I like. A lot of the other ones, Spider-Man I could do without. I enjoyed it, but God of War I could do without. Horizon I could do without. Like I'm just not into those. I've played them though. Sorry. But yeah, let's move on. Let's see. So let us continue. In a post on Reset Era, Schreier said his comments were not speculation, but sometimes come up on the show before I'm quite ready to publish a story about them. More to come soon, I'm sure. Now, Jason Schreier, he's very reliable. He's actually probably one of the most reliable guys when it comes to like leaks and stuff. So, of course, a lot of people's like, well, it's not confirmed until so and so. Yeah, but at the same time, when that dude comes out and says something, don't be surprised if it's true, man. But yeah, take it with a grain of salt. It's not. I don't think it's confirmed. It could be confirmed, but like, correct me if I'm wrong if it is confirmed. But my friend, Galaxy Guns or Galactic Guns, excuse me. He told me about it. He said it was confirmed. So, but Digital Foundry's John Lineman said something similar on Digital Foundry Direct. I actually have an linking. I can't read today. Forgive me. That they're pulling away from PC, Lyman said. Watch this space. I get the feeling that under the current leadership, PC has become less important. Okay, we already read that, I think. One might argue that Jim Ryan era. Let's see, let's go down a little bit. One might argue that the Jim Ryan era, the one positive thing that came out was the shift to PC, but I'm not confident that they have a huge vision for PC going forward. Not to say won't still see some PC games happening, but I think it's not going to become more PC focused. I think anything is going to be less. This is the reason I don't think they would ever consider it a PC launcher, like going bigger on PC at the expense of console. I think console is where they want to be. So yeah, a PC launcher would be absolutely terrible idea for PlayStation. Yeah, I think Jim Ryan really screwed the PlayStation brand. I feel like, to me personally, this is just me now, If you like the PS2, I know the PS2 was the GOAT, but I didn't play a lot of PS2, man. I played like Twisted Metal Black, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That was pretty much it, man. I didn't play a lot of PS2. I watched a lot of DVDs on this son of a gun, but to me the PS3 is the GOAT. That was my favorite console of all time. That I've had thousands of hours into the PlayStation 3 because it was free online and it felt more like a PC than all these other ones to me. PS4 was very great. I feel like they need to kind of go back to the PS4 era because I feel like a lot of people, I think that's when they had the most games. I think the PS4 is the console that had the most games. I could be wrong, but that's just me. I think they need to go back to that. So let's move on. You guys read that? Okay, cool. Sony has in recent years expanded PlayStation PC, but refrained from going as far as a console rival, Microsoft, which releases all of its games on PC at the same time as console. Sony, however, has employed a staggered approach, releasing its single-player PlayStation games on PC after a period of time of console exclusivity. When it comes to live service games, like Helldivers 2 is a different story, with Sony publishing on PC day one. Okay, so PC guys, we're still getting live service games from Sony. And in the case of Arrowhead's third-person action game to record-breaking success, indeed Sony-owned Bungie is about to launch a live service extraction shooter, Marathon. Marathon's going to be garbage. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. It is absolute trash. It's an extraction shooter. Just play Arc Raiders, man. Arc Raiders, the more I play it, the more I'm enjoying it. It's a great game. Check it out. It's only $40, I think, too. Across PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S at the same time. Guerrilla's live service game, multiplayer, Horizon Spinoff Hunters looks like crap. Gathering is set to go on PC and PS5, as is Marvel Token Fighting Souls. I never even heard of that. Yeah, that Horizon spinoff looks terrible. I think Sony needs to stick to the PlayStation exclusives. That's what they're good at. They don't need to be making a bunch of nonsense live service games that nobody cares about. Helldivers 2 is an exception. If they can make bangers like that, then I'm all for it, man. But these other ones, like the God of War multiplayer game they were supposed to come out with, they canceled it. The Last of Us, they had a multiplayer game come out, canceled it. They're canceling the good games that made them famous. But then they're coming out with games like Concord nobody gives a crap about, and all this other garbage. Horizon's a good series, man, but that should have been like co-op or something, not go back and look like Fortnite. And I'm not trying to hate on Fortnite. I play Fortnite, so. But Fortnite just can't be touched when it comes to certain things. Stop trying to be a Fortnite copycat, man. Just have your own spin on stuff. And that's... These companies, man, they follow trends. Do your own thing, man. The reports cast doubt on the likes of Wolverine coming out to PC. I can do without, again. I'm not really hardcore Marvel DC fan. I'm just more casual. So if it doesn't come out, more power to PlayStation fans, you know. But there are more games to consider here. We had assumed Sucker Punch's Ghost of Yotei would eventually hit PC, having launched on PS5 last year. But will it? Will House Marquis Soros? I don't know. It's worth nothing. Recent reports that Sony may have to delay the release of the PlayStation 6. Yeah, we already know that. So the PlayStation 6 is probably going to get delayed, guys, if you didn't know, to 2029 because the AI chip crisis crap. All these companies are trying to chase AI, and it's they're saying that thing's going to pop. I don't think it's going to pop. AI is here to stay. Guys, they're not going anywhere with AI stuff. It's here to stay. Like, they're saying, oh, this bubble's going to burst. It's not going to burst. It may deflate, but it's not going to burst, man. It's here to stay, man. And that's another thing, man. I don't have nothing wrong. I don't have anything against AI as long as you use it in the correct way and use it as a tool. I don't think they should put AI in every single thing, but, you know, that's what they're pushing for. So Sony pushed PS5 life cycle. So yeah, you're going to be playing PS5 for a good while, guys. Senior analysts at MST International, who focuses on games tech companies, predicted the rising memory prices will not impact short-term performance thanks to Sony's existing inventory. So basically, Sony already bought a bunch of memory, so it's not going to affect them. They're just going to push it back because they don't want to charge people $1,000 for a console because they won't make anything. However, to be noted that the decrease of memory cost could become an issue for Sony in the next fiscal year, ending in 2027 of March, saying Sony might pass on future cost increases onto consumers. With that in mind, doubling down on PS5 as the home exclusives games may help reinforce the console's value for PlayStation fans and encourage sales. Yes, I agree. Like Jim Ryan should have never been in charge, man. The dude has really almost destroyed the PlayStation brand itself. They should have had the guy, I forget his name. They should have had the dude running the PS4 to run PlayStation still, but oh well. This month, Sony announced the shock closure of Bluepoint Games. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys. Yeah, they shut down a studio that actually does make really good remakes. I think they made the Demon Souls, the Uncharted Nathan Drake series, and some other stuff. They actually shut that crap down, man. Something they're good at. It's stupid, man. We're going to cover this on, me and Who Dat Roost podcast whenever we would decide to make it. But yeah, Shadow of the Colossus remake, and yeah, just some other stuff. Sony still operates PC port specialist Nexus Software, which was bought in 2021. So I guess they're going to just work on the live service stuff. They're not really going to do the single player stuff anymore, which is understandable. But yeah, man, that's where we're at. I think this is actually a good move, again, in my opinion, because again, it will just completely destroy the PlayStation brand, man. That's why people like me have switched to PC full time. And now that I'm on PC, I'm not going back, man. So it's just one of them things, dude. It's like Microsoft already is killing the Xbox, but at the same time, it doesn't matter to them much because they do own PCs. They run on their operating system, just like Google with Android, so... Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. That's where we're at. So Sony is pulling away from exclusives. What do you guys think about this? As always, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. I will continue to do news videos like this. But yeah, just let me know your guys' thoughts. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I love you all, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.